Hi everybody, Victoria Lambert here with the Brahmin Journal. We're here at the World Brahmin Congress, and as we have had so much fun with all of our international guests. So I have a very special friend with me, and go ahead and tell the people your name, the country you're from, and your ranch name.
Well, okay. So my name is Eros Gazinelli, and I represent my company, which is called GENBRA
Uh-huh.
Agropecuaria, and we are from Brazil. We have been breeding Gujarat cattle from the past 30 years, especially myself. Like we have 50 years
Oh,
in my
wow.
family breeding this specific cattle.
That is amazing.
It's a cattle originally from India,
Uh-huh.
as Nelore, as Gir, and we
Uh-huh.
also have Gujarat. Like I think people in the United States know this breeds because of they are the foundation breed for the Brahman.
Right.
Well, so I'm thrilled to be here with you, Victoria. Like it's a pleasure for me to be
Huh.
here in the U.S. for the very first time for cattle proposes for cattle
Uh-huh.
like business and all this
Uh-huh.
stuff. So I'm a fan of how Americans breed Brahman,
Right.
and you guys are the reference for like most of the people
Thank
around the
you.
world, and especially you and your staff. Now I can see for the first time, like in person, part of the success of the Brahman Journal is because of your high energy, your
Yeah.
kindness, and all the professionalism that you put in this thing.
Thank you.
So I want to congratulate you. And here in this World Brahman Congress, this is also the first Brahman Congress that I have been. I'm not a Brahman breeder, but I think it's the perfect opportunity to exchange experience, exchange information, exchange like how we breed cattle the same way and different ways that we have been doing that. So for me, it's a very important thing. And right now, I want to invite some of our viewers, our like
Yes,
partners,
absolutely.
to visit Exposebu next year. We'll be celebrating the 90th edition of the Exposebu, and we all know that Exposebu is a very important cattle show
We're going
around
to
the
play just
world.
a little video in the background. There's not going to be any audio, but you're going to be able to get just a little bit of an idea of what it's going to look like. So yes, please continue. I would love to be there. I've been to Brazil for other events, and it is absolutely amazing. The number of cattle, it's just crazy.
Yeah, that's right. So we have in Brazil this huge cattle exhibition, and
And what city?
in Uberaba.
Uberaba. I've been to Uberaba, and
Yeah.
all of the different breeds are housed as far as their associations there.
Exactly,
It's
you
so
know that.
amazing.
Yeah, so I think that College Station is the Uberaba in Brazil because Uberaba hosts the big association, is the Zebu Association, and we have also the Gir Association, Guzerat Association, Brahman Association,
Yes.
but they are all located in the same expo center.
And Nellore too. The
Nelore,
everything is one
Tabapuã,
place. Yes.
Cindy. I don't know if you're
Yes,
familiar with all these
absolutely.
breeds, but yes. So Uberaba is the Mecca. I used to
Yeah,
call
I
Uberaba
definitely
as the
agree.
Mecca of Zebu, at least in Brazil. And we have this year specifically, we had like over 20 different countries visiting Expo Zebu. And it's like a huge pleasure for us to exchange all these experiences
Absolutely.
and show our cattle, show our like the success that we have been achieving in our farms.
Right.
So I think it's a huge opportunity next year to visit Exposebu, the very last days of April, the very early days of May.
Perfect.
Yeah, and we will celebrate the 90th edition, and it's going to be a beautiful,
and all
beautiful
the
party.
different breeds will show, sort of like Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. So like every different breed has a day, or is it only?
Well, actually, we have this cattle show in a different way. For example, Nelore, G, and Guzerat, that are the three like biggest main breeds in Brazil right now. We have the classes going on around like 4 or 5 days in a row.
Exactly.
So we have 4 days of Nelore classes, 5 days of Guzerat classes,
Wow.
5 days of G classes. It's not that fast as we're seeing here
Yes,
or
I've been
in the different
in the ring with
places.
the Brazilian judges, and they're very detailed.
Well, yeah.
They do a wonderful job. Our judges do a great job too, but it's a slightly different style.
It's a different style, absolutely. like we used to spend at least 5 to 10 minutes each class to judge and rank them.
Right.
So it's a little bit different, and they're very. The details are very. The competition is tight. It's tough and it's
Very,
tight.
very
So they need to do a big and a very precise
Yes.
work. Yes.
And then, of course, the cattle are just amazingly beautiful. We'll be playing some of the videos later today after he leaves, because I thought it would be fun if you guys could get to meet him, because we had some videos of your animals and they're just stunning, really beautiful. Good animals are good animals. I mean, it's just, and the Gujarat is part of the Brahmin breed. The Brahmins have Gujarat in them, as everybody knows, and I do think that across the country, across the world, people are interested in good cattle.
Absolutely. And good cattle, as you said, is a good cattle.
Right.
And like the standards of like udder, how they walk, carcass,
Exactly.
fertility, longevity, it's the same in every single breed. And people are looking for good cattle.
And looking for ways to improve their breeding programs. Like we were at ST Genetics and they gave, a really wonderful talk about different things and different focuses and the DNA and everything, and new genetic developments that they're coming out with that I think you can use in any breed. So I think that is really exciting.
Exactly. And the future of our business, the future of livestock breeding, it will be the science. The
Yes.
science, the numbers, and the evaluations, the development, genetic development. That's the key for the future of our business.
Absolutely. And I do think also, I think if you've traveled internationally, if you haven't, we invite you to come with us. I'm thinking I might be able to make it to Brazil next year. I certainly hope so, because we would love to do this in Brazil. It would be so exciting. We have breeders from all around the world that like to follow us. Sometimes we'll have anywhere from 2 million to 29 million people watch us. And so they're not just necessarily Brahmin breeders, but they are mostly Cebu-oriented cattle. And so the Gujarat, the Gir, everything, they all fall under that same umbrella, and they have a passion for the cattle. And I can tell you have a passion for your cattle. Now, we were just watching this video, and so I'm going to get him to brag on himself just a tick. And you have won so many championships. You guys are one of the top breeders in Brazil. I just know that.
Right.
I know that.
Yeah,
I've
that's
heard
right.
that. I've read that. I know that. And I think you should brag on yourself just a little.
Well, I would brag myself, but not with my cattle itself, but like the cattle that we have been doing with our partners, with our
Exactly.
clients. Because
Yes.
as I'm saying in the video, of course in Portuguese, but like we will translate that after.
Right.
And it's more important for us to like have some titles going to our clients.
Exactly.
That proves that our genetic works for every single client, every single farmer around our big, huge country that is
Exactly.
Brazil. So that's what makes us the most proud of.
Right.
And-
It's just like here, we just had some breeders win, and they were using someone else's genetics that they either used to create their own or that they had purchased, and they won the awards and they were recognized for their excellence. And again, it all goes back to those really good genetics. Genetics are important.
Absolutely. So some of those animals that we saw this year were like 48 or 45 trophies that
Right.
we got from our genetic basis. And some of them were animals that we sowed. Some of them are like originally from embryos that we sowed.
Exactly.
And those embryos were like the birth happened in their farms.
Right.
So already adapted to the reality that they have in
Exactly.
their ranches. So it's important for us to share the success. Not
Yes.
just share the genetics, but share the
The
success,
success and the
with our
ability for
clients.
them to be able to take those genetics and use them as a breeding piece and continue on and be able to join with some of the genetics they might already have. It's really important.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this is the beauty of breeding cattle. Share
know.
good stuff, share good material.
I agree.
And like at least us in Brazil, we are very proud of sharing material.
Exactly.
So, and if people are getting success with our genetics and we are sharing the best that we have been doing or the best that we have achieved so far, the next year I want him to come to this cattle exhibition and beat me because that
Exactly.
will put the fire under me
I
to
agree.
make it even better for the next 5 years. And that's the good thing about sharing the good stuff.
Exactly. I agree 100%. We have a lot of good friends in Mexico and Guatemala, all around the world. And what we really find interesting when we travel is that when you see these group of breeders that get together and they talk about how are you breeding this? I use this and it works well. You're using this bloodline and it works well for you, but it didn't work as well for me. What are you doing with it differently than I am? And they're learning how to put those different pieces of the genetic puzzle together and be successful. And then they're even more excited when their clients and their customers are successful, and that is the essence of a truly successful breeding program, is when you rise up with your clients and the people that you've shared your genetics, because we're constantly trying to breed better animals, stronger, to produce better, always thinking about the conformation and the health, and at the end of the day doing what they're supposed to be doing in the pasture.
Absolutely. If you want to do it to last longer, you need to do it right. And you need to do it
Exactly.
right every single day, and you need to do it better every single day.
And figure out what works and doesn't.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that you should try, like, behind the scenes in your farm and share just what doesn't share just the things that does actually work.
Right.
And so you select before, and then you go to the cattle exhibition, and then you go to the market, and then you offer just the thing that you already experienced. That
Yes.
is the good stuff that you
And
have.
I just love that. And that's what I love about our Brahmin family and about our agricultural family, is because we want everyone to succeed. There's so many breeders, for the most part, that want to help other breeders and lift other breeders up. And again, exactly what you said, want them to be super successful, and we'll kind of try to help them keep out of the pitfalls, or this didn't work well for me, let me know if it works well for you. And also then, of course, there is the environment, because Brazil is a huge country. And so I'm sure that those genetics are going to be impacted differently in different parts of the country.
Yeah, absolutely. In Brazil, we don't have this like super cold weather.
Right.
We don't have snow there, so it's a very tropical and very like tropical weather. So, and we
But
really
don't you have some areas that are wetter and some areas that are more dry?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We have all this type of, we just don't have the super cold area. That's
And
the only.
I need to move to Brazil, 'cause
We,
I'm not
we
a big
almost
fan
have
of cold.
we almost have deserts. We have like very wet areas. We have
Yeah.
humidity like super high and super low.
Right.
And it's crazy. And Zebu cattle, as you know, is very like the adaptation is one of the very amazing characteristics that we have in Zebu cattle. So you mentioned earlier that we are a family, and we are actually a global family.
Exactly.
We have been fighting all the fake news and all this wrong things that they have been saying about agribusiness, cattle business, and all this stuff, that we really need to put the best show and the best
Exactly.
cattle and the best evaluated genetic
I agree.
in the shelves, so we will be very succeed if we share the best. At ST Genetics, we saw this program that they were like measuring the CO2
Yes,
gases.
amazing.
That's amazing.
It
That's
is.
the future. That's like what we need to show to the world, that we have this sustainable cattle.
Exactly.
This cattle that is a friend of the environment, not the villain of the environment.
Exactly.
Right.
And educating the general public so that they understand the reality of how agriculture is important. And then, of course, at ST Genetics, they do an amazing job of all of their research. It just, every time I go there and they give me a presentation, they talk to me, because we've been going there for a long time and we work and partner with ST as far as some of the things that they do with their sales. And it just so excites me because they're not just selling pretty cattle. They have the data, they have the information, and they have it scientifically. It's not just some information that they think that maybe this animal is feed efficient or this or that. They know it because they have scientifically measured it. And I think those are really important things that we as a agricultural community need to continue on with.
Absolutely. We shouldn't be like sustained about like things and what I like or what I don't like, but actually we should go for we should look forward for things that really matters. And
exactly.
Science, efficiency, weight gain is
Yes.
like this is the future, and this is what the planet needs to produce more protein, meat, beef, or like milk.
Exactly.
So
feeding the world.
Feeding
Absolutely.
the world, absolutely. We
There's
need
no
to
question.
feed the world, and we need to feed the world with less costs, less input, less.
Exactly. It's very important. The less input, the more output, the better off we all are, and we can all succeed. And I can say the few times that I've been to Brazil, I've been there maybe 3 or 4 times, always really impressed. The cattle are amazing. The facility is amazing there at Uberaba. I've been there twice. Just the way that all those different breeds basically work together, different sizes, the Brahmins are a little smaller, but we love you guys. But it's just, the cattle are just stunning. And so I've always really enjoyed it, and I think that maybe we'll have to get the dates. And so it's in end of April, beginning of May.
Well, yes. Right now, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's from April 28th until May 4th or 5th.
Okay.
So you are all very welcome. You especially, Victoria, you
Thank
are
you.
mostly welcome there. And like it's a very interesting experience because you will see each day all the breeds being judged by the judge,
Yes.
like simultaneously.
Yes.
So you will see all the breeds,
So
and
you
you
can
will
go
see.
from section to section to section, from area to area, and see the different
you stay in the
breeds.
same place, and then
Same
you'll
place.
see the
Oh,
cattle
okay.
being judged and being classified.
So, like in Paraguay, I was there at the World Brahman Congress, but also I've been to Asuncion on the events where they had like 3 rings in that giant area, and they had like something being done here, something being done there, something being done there, and you could watch all of it.
That's right. That's
very
exactly what
interesting.
happened in Brazil, and it's an open air, huge area.
beautiful.
It's beautiful. The grass is beautiful. Like we have this huge panel with all the results, all the
Yes.
numbers. It's like pretty organized, and I
Yeah.
think it's very put together. So it's worth it to go.
Absolutely.
It's worth it to go.
And I love the Brazilian judges. I always have enjoyed it. Very meticulous in their descriptions, very precise in what they're explaining. So it's always been very interesting to me when I've been able to be in the arena with a Brazilian judge.
Absolutely. So you are all welcome to go there.
We
Once
will.
again, Exposable, the 90th edition of Exposable.
So a big
And
anniversary.
A
for
big
you guys.
anniversary, a huge, huge show. We are expecting over 3,000 animals there
Wow.
for this exhibition.
Okay, guys, we're going to make sure that we put that up. Most of you guys know we have a Brahmin event website that has all of the events, but it's not just about Brahmin cattle. I know you guys know that. We have a lot of the Cebu events in there. We're going to be at the ComCebu, the Cebu Congress in Mexico. That is going to luckily be in October in Veracruz, so it will not interfere with our Expo Cebu there in Brazil, so that'll be a lot of fun. So let's plan on traveling with the Brahman Journal, guys. We'll get the dates for you. We'll make sure we promote this and let you know about it. We'll be talking about it at Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, so we can let everybody know, because you will want to travel with the Brahman Journal and you will want to be with us in Brazil there at hopefully the end of April, beginning of May, and then we can go on to Mexico to the Cebu Congress. What do you say?
Exactly. So I will be with you guys in March, next March, for
At the
the Houston Rodeo.
You're
So
going to come and sit
I
with me
invite
again.
you all again
Absolutely.
in March next year. But absolutely, I think we need to do this tour at least here in America, because that makes us like stronger. That
It
makes
does.
us stronger. And once again, if we are stronger together, the cattle business and the livestock
Absolutely.
thing is like getting stronger, and with the best, like the better, like people are watching us in a better way
Absolutely.
that they used to.
Yes, absolutely.
us.
And they're looking at us and realizing that we're working together to be, as you said, sustainable and produce more with less input, which is good for the environment, but also good for the world, because we're going to feed them in a more efficient way. So I am a huge proponent of this. I definitely believe that science is important and research is important. So I love the things that the different countries are doing. And so I think we'll have to travel along, and we'll talk a little bit more in March at Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. We will be there. We have the dates. I know everybody's been asking about them. It's a little bit later than it has been in the past. I think Houston is either 3, 4, 5 or 4, 5, 6 in March, 4, 5, 6 in March. We'll make sure everybody knows. We also always want to make sure people know that our international guests have a hard time finding that international sign up. We've been promoting that. We'll continue to promote it. We'll put it down in the comments. And we will be visiting with you and hopefully visiting Brazil. He'll come to Houston and visit with us a little bit more. So thank you for visiting with us today.
I am the one who was like very glad to be here for the first time sitting in this side of the camera, but I have been a lot in the other side of the camera. And in the name of all the viewers, I would really like to thank you, because you have been sharing all these experiences from all around the world, all around the cattle business, all the cattle shows that you have been showing them and showing us what they are doing. And that's what make us know that we have been working together, but even that we are not being together in person, we have been working together. So in name of the viewers, that now I'm not one of them, but I will watch it later, I would like to thank you for the work that you have been doing and the passion that you have been putting on this. So the energy is there, the passion is there, and the success is literally there. So congratulations and thank you.
Thank you. I have an amazing team. I have amazing people that want to watch. The most important thing is I get to give you guys a view, for the most part, of all of these amazing breeders, cattle, their genetics. I get to talk to them and find out about them. So thank you for watching. Thank you for talking to us. And make sure you come back and visit with us, because we're going to Brazil in 2025. Thanks for visiting with us, and thanks.
Expo Zebu 2024. Mais uma vez, a seriedade e árdua seleção genética se apresentaram em forma de grandes resultados. A GENBRA Agropecuária se consolida mais uma vez como berço genético do melhor guzerá para carne e leite. Evidenciada pelos importantes títulos alcançados com os nossos descendentes. 23 campeonatos e 18 reservados campeonatos na Expo Zebu deste ano. 41 animais premiados, sendo 29 filhos e 12 netos dos nossos genearcas. Campeões apresentados por 14 diferentes expositores, enfatizando a excelência genética difundida pela GENBRA.
A filosofia da GENBRA é ainda mais importante que os nossos clientes sejam premiados do que nós próprios enquanto expositores e criadores. Então, a satisfação do cliente, a satisfação do expositor campeão é que dá grande satisfação para nós.
Esta edição atraiu 538 visitantes internacionais de 34 diferentes países, que testemunharam o potencial da pecuária brasileira na sua melhor versão. A raça Guzerá, em particular, se destacou, demonstrando sua versatilidade, rusticidade e produtividade, fatores essenciais para a sustentabilidade da pecuária mundial. Nossos sinceros parabéns à ABCZ, aos expositores e apresentadores por sua dedicação e trabalho incansáveis, tornando a Exposebu 2024 um evento verdadeiramente majestoso. Estamos ansiosos para que em 2025 possamos mais uma vez celebrar o sucesso contínuo e a excelência da raça Guzerá. GENBRA Agropecuária, berço genético de campeões. Guzerá, essa raça dá lucro.